and the inaugural event of the F1 2019 Championship season. The session is starting shortly, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. A feeling that anything can happen this year, and if it does, well, this weekend could be the opening chapter to one of the most exciting F1 seasons ever. Joining me in the commentary box is, of course, Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you back again. What can you tell us about this year's roster? There are some new faces this year, aren't there?
Absolutely, Crofty. There's been a number of interesting signings over the last few months. Where would you like to start?
Let's talk about the engineer.
Right, well, this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. They'll be familiar to anyone who follows the Formula 2 Championship, where they performed extremely well last year. It's worth noting that their teammate in F2, Lucas Weber, is also making his debut in Formula 1 this weekend. Now, there was an incident where they went against their own team's instructions to let Lucas past. They apologised for it at the time, and it seemed as though there were no hard feelings. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of rivalry might develop now they're no longer constrained by driving for the same team.
Those two aren't the only new faces from Formula 2 this season, are they?
No, this season will introduce fans to George Russell and Lando Norris, two very promising young British drivers. Plus, we'll meet Alexander Albon from Thailand, and finally, Devon Butler. Now, Devon was a bit of a controversial figure in Formula 2 last year. He racked up a lot of penalties over the course of the season, including one where he collided with his closest rival. It was a nasty clip. Now, certainly after the event, they were nothing but professional in terms of how they spoke about the incident with Devon, but it's hard to imagine them being as polite about it behind closed doors. I think this rival will be one to keep an eye on over the next few races, as both drivers take their first steps into the world of Formula 1.
This first race of the season is always quite difficult for us trackside, and for those back at the factory as well, as it's the first time the car has run since winter testing. The more consistent mileage you can get in these sessions, the happier we'll be.
During your F1 career, you'll be able to utilise these